Good evening and welcome. Tonight we'll be going over the history and geography of Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. This is our first capital city in my ASMR Around the World series. I'm very excited about it. So, Abu Dhabi is not just the city here. It is the name of the entire emirate in the United Arab Emirates. The Emirates are named after their principal cities. So all of this is Abu Dhabi, and this is the capital city of Abu Dhabi. So we're going to talk about all of it, but I think we should start with the city. Abu Dhabi, the city, is a really remarkable place. I will show you on Google Earth after we go over its history. Lots of skyscrapers, all the modern amenities, beautiful mosques, beautiful homes, beautiful beaches, and gorgeous little islands here. And now, very different from its neighbor, Dubai, wherein the islands are majority man-made and are home to luxury skyscrapers and homes and resorts. Abu Dhabi has very few man-made islands. Most of the islands you can see around here off the coast are very natural and have some interesting features to them. I'll show you on Google Earth, but just next to the city of Abu Dhabi, which is the main city, is on an island. An island next to it is pretty much entirely a big mangrove forest. It's marshy, swampy kind of tree sanctuary, I want to say. But speaking of sanctuaries, there is a little island, I believe it's right about here, it's not marked on my map, called Bani Yas. Bani Yas is also kind of a resort place. Around the outside of the island are lots of lovely, lovely little vacation homes, but on the inside is a really cool wildlife preserve where many different endangered animals from the Arabian Peninsula and from Africa are located to not just wow visitors, but also to help breed them and increase the population, mainly for the Arabian oryx, which went extinct in the wild on the Arabian Peninsula. And thanks to the conservation efforts in places like Bani Yas, they are much, much more populated out in the wild. There's also lots of giraffes and cheetahs on Bani Yas, like in particular, it's giraffes and cheetahs, which is pretty cool. Let's move out here into the desert. You can see the desert region is pretty barren. It is technically part of the Rub al Khali. You can't see. This is the empty quarter of the Arabian Peninsula. It stretches through a lot of Saudi Arabia, Oman, a bit of Yemen, and up here into the United Arab Emirates, which is why Abu Dhabi is so much bigger compared to the other little emirates up here, because there's just not a lot of things here. It's a very wide open space. You can see some little towns here. These are oases towns over here. This is part of the Liwa Oasis. And right here is a really cool oil town. I believe this is where oil was discovered in Abu Dhabi before they went offshore. Oh, sorry, there's Bani Yas. It is on my map. I just noticed it's right here. That's where it is. It's not over here. It's over here. And there's a really cool, city around the oil facilities there for the employees. You can see it gets a lot more marshy and salty over here. That's due to the influx of seawater. And then over here is where our history is going to start. This is the city of Al Ain, and it is a really cool oasis city that has really blossomed. You can see the Hajar Mountains going right through here. And let me see, I have my tablet right here. I forgot to pull up. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Let me just quickly. UNESCO World Heritage. And I'm going to have to scroll down to the U section. So, Al Ain is where our story begins. there is very, very early human settlements in this area, and it's kind of where the trading link was for places in Oman. And up here, there were settlements in Abu Dhabi, mainly just fishing settlements at this time, very early in history. But UAE, there we go. I'll pull this over for you. But it was mostly in Al Ain. So let's read about the heritage site of Al Ain and the various oases areas. The cultural sites of Al Ain constitute a serial property that testifies to sedentary human occupation of a desert region since the Neolithic period, with vestiges of many prehistoric cultures. Remarkable vestiges in the property include circular stone tombs from 2500 BCE, that's how far in the past we are, wells, and a wide range of adobe constructions, residential buildings, towers, palaces, and administrative buildings. Healy, moreover, features one of the oldest examples of the sophisticated afflage irrigation system, which dates back to the Iron Age. The property provides important testimony to the transition of cultures in the region from hunting and gathering to sedentarization. And let's take a look at this paragraph, and then we'll look at the pictures. The serial property of the cultural sites of Al Ain, with its various component parts and the regional context in which it is situated, provides testimony to ancient sedentary human occupation in a desert region. Occupied continuously since the Neolithic, the region presents vestiges of numerous prehistoric cultures, notably from the Bronze Age and the Iron Age. Al Ain is situated at the crossroads of the ancient land routes between Oman, the Arabian Peninsula, the Persian Gulf, and Mesopotamia. Very diverse in nature, the tangible elements of the property include remains of circular stone tombs and settlements from the Hafid and Healy periods, wells, and partially underground afflage irrigation systems, oases, and mud brick constructions assigned to a wide range of defensive, domestic, and economic purposes. This expertise in construction and water management enabled the early development of agriculture for 5 millennia up to the present day. Couldn't have said it better myself. Let's take a look at some pictures, the more historical areas. So you can find some of these in the city of Abu Dhabi as well. Really cool old forts. And looks like a big water jug there. There's a well. And some cool carvings here. Looks like an Arabian oryx, doesn't it? Of course, you have date palms. Big industry, still is, in the Emirates. And yeah, pretty cool place. Still is today. Alright, we'll come back to the tablet in a minute. Settlement in Abu Dhabi didn't become very serious until 1761, when the Bani Yas clan settled in the area, and they had a rotational form of, I suppose, agriculture and harvesting, whereas in the winter they would harvest the date palms out in the oases out here, and in the summer they would harvest pearls out here in the Persian Gulf. Now, pearling was very precarious at this time. They would go out on boats, they would dive into the murky water. Of course, they didn't have like scuba equipment or anything like that. They had to hold their breath sometimes for up to 4 to 5 minutes, reach down and grab as many oysters as they could while holding their breath, take them back up to the boats and find out if there were any pearls in those oysters, because you never knew. So very, very precarious industry, but of course that made pearls incredibly expensive to purchase, right? Because they were so hard to attain. So wealth came into the area, but nothing like it is today. The area was controlled by the British, and that's because the British were trading in the area here, and many local clans would attack them and raid them like pirates. So the British fought back said, you know what, instead of fighting back, we're going to make a truce with all the different states here. Hence, the trucial states were born. So Abu Dhabi was part of the trucial states that were administered by Great Britain. Oil was found in the area in 1958 and started to become extracted not long after that. The current Sultan of the Sheikh of the area, Sheikh Shakbut bin Sultan Al Nahyan, that's where I consulted. The current Sheikh of the time was quite hesitant to put that oil money back into the economy and give it back to the people. One, because I'm sure he was very greedy, and two, because he didn't know how long the oil boom was going to last and how much money was in it. So he didn't want to start infrastructure projects like, running water and roads and things like that, and then have all the money dry out and not be able to finish. But there's also an element of greed in there as well. It was a lot of money. So in 1966, his brother Zayed bin Sultan Al Nahyan overthrew him with the help of the British, and they established basically what's the Emirate of Abu Dhabi at this time, except it wasn't called that yet. It was this period that money went back into the economy and infrastructure and the people living here, and the city started to explode in size and quality of life. The British didn't stick around for much longer, though, because in 1968 they announced that they were going to cut ties with all of their administrative territories around the Persian Gulf and around the Arabian Peninsula, just because they couldn't afford it anymore. World War II had wiped them out. They were struggling to maintain colonies and territories, and they decided to just drop a bunch, and that included the trucial states here. So in 1971, when the British finally fully pulled out, the United Arab Emirates was born, and they decided to make Abu Dhabi the capital. At the time, it was the largest, most prosperous area in all of the regions here. And they agreed, for political reasons, that the president would always be the Sheikh of Abu Dhabi, and the vice president would always be the Sheikh of Dubai. So it was this time, now that they could manage their own money all on their own, that the economy in the Emirates exploded. Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and all these other cities here along the coast are incredibly modern, incredibly wealthy, incredibly beautiful, huge, luxurious, massive building projects are underway. They've kind of ebbed and flowed, especially in Dubai in times of like the 2008 economic crisis, when they couldn't finish a lot of building projects, and many man-made islands out here are still incomplete. But we're not talking about Dubai, we're talking about Abu Dhabi, where, from what I can tell, many of the building projects were completed, and as you'll see on Google Earth, they are expanding out to increase the size of the city on the mainland and to create some more cute little man-made islands out here. And essentially that is the history of Abu Dhabi. Let's check out Google Earth, and I'm going to show you some cool places around the emirate. Let me get rid of it. There we go. There we go. Okay. So here you can see Abu Dhabi. There's the emirate here. There's the city. Here's Al Ain. I couldn't find any cool slideshows of the area, but this is the big city area. You can see their airport. And Al Ain has lots of cool little parks and fountains and things like that, because it is an oasis town, so there's underground water there. You can see the desert here gets pretty barren, right? But then you can see the oasis area right here. And then there is the oil town. You can see the refineries and things, and that's where people live out in the desert, working hard extracting oil. But let's look at the interesting places. Let's go up the road here to the water. So you could see like this island Still quite under development. They're working on it. They're making it into something very cool. And look at all these. They're making these islands into something very cool. As you can see, it gets pretty brackish with the sand mixing with the salt water, creates this cool kind of lagoon look. Perfect for mangroves to grow. So you can see the more muddy forested areas out here. But then you just hop, oh, here's all the mangroves over here, and then you just hop over here and boom, you're in the big city of Abu Dhabi. Let me zoom out a bit so you can see the island here of Abu Dhabi. Lots of other projects underway, as you can see, big port area here. Lots of other projects on the way. And here is the main city. Sadly, there's no 3D view to show you how big some of these buildings are. Of course, it doesn't compare to Dubai, right? But you can see the shadows that are being cast by these tall buildings, right? Kind of gives you an idea of how big this area is. It's pretty neat. Very industrious, very busy. Here's where the biggest buildings are, over here. Over here. Very luxurious, right? Let me see if I can find it. I found this cute little series of man-made islands somewhere over here. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find it. But over here, there's some interesting places like, I won't show you, but the Louvre Abu Dhabi, like a branch of the Louvre. And then if we go, let's see if I remember where it is. I think it's up here. I hope you guys enjoy me just wandering around maps, trying to remember where all the cool stuff I found was. I hope it's relaxing. There's the big swamps. Zoom back out. It's definitely not out here because that's where it gets kind of swampy. Excuse my neighbor sneezing up there. Maybe it's up here. Oh, that's the port. Sayed Port. Luxury hotels there. I think it's over here. Sorbonne University, Abu Dhabi. Very fancy. Kind of a French thing, French theme happening there. I'm not going to be able to find it, but it's okay. It was the various theme parks that I found in the area. They have a Ferrari themed theme park and a Warner Brothers themed theme park. Here it is. The Ferrari theme park. And there's the Warner Brothers theme park. Let's take a look at the Ferrari world. I think it's pretty cool. Big roller coasters and fancy cars. You can go look at all the beautiful Ferrari cars and then go ride some roller coasters. The world's fastest coaster. Pretty cool, I think. Beautiful, beautiful cars. Lots of fun shopping. Makes it look like you're in Italy. You can go loop-de-loop. Things like that. I think that's pretty cool. I really like theme parks. I think they're fun. Let's go a little bit more traditionally. You can see where the city is slowly expanding out to here. You can see some neighborhoods about to pop up there, right? Let's check out back to Abu Dhabi. And we're going to look at the Sheikh Zayed Mosque, which is absolutely gorgeous. You can see from above here. Beautiful, beautiful gardens all around it. Even like the parking lots are beautiful. And the big mosque here, beautiful pools, beautiful, perfectly trimmed gardens. And yeah, more parking lots. Even the parking lots are beautiful. So let's check out this incredible mosque up here, the Sheikh Zayed Grand Mosque. Look how absolutely gorgeous it is. Perfect little domes, beautiful white colors, all lit up lovely at night. The big prayer halls with gorgeous chandeliers, and look at all the designs in the walls. It is a beautiful, beautiful project. So stunning. I I think it's so gorgeous. Can you imagine? I doubt there'll be pictures of, ooh, how pretty, of the courtyard filled up during Eid al-Adha. You can imagine that thousands and thousands of people are filling up these huge spaces out here, like in the big courtyards and things. Gorgeous. Let's see, what else did I need to show you? I think that was about it. All of the big sights of beautiful Abu Dhabi. If you're a 90s kid like me, when you think Abu Dhabi, you immediately think of Garfield. Because there was a running gag where Garfield was sending Normal, the kitten, to Abu Dhabi constantly, just trying to trick her to go inside a box so that he could mail it to Abu Dhabi. And Abu Dhabi is where all the happy kittens live, you know. It was like a very long Garfield joke. So, unfortunately, that's what I think of first when I think of Abu Dhabi, even after all my research isn't that bad. But, yeah. Once again, I have found... Oh, I didn't show you Sir Bani Yas Island. Once again, I have looked through Google Earth and found all of these cute, incredible places to show you, and then once I'm filming, I have no idea where they are. Zoom back out so I don't get lost in all these islands again. Here it is, Sir Bani Yas. So here is the wildlife area. You can see lots of, if it'll load, little like resort areas out here. So you can live in luxury out by the water, and then you can go on safari and see the pool animals. Let's look at the wildlife park actually. Giraffes. I'll show you an Arabian oryx. Surely there's a picture in here of Arabian oryx. There's a cheetah. Beautiful cheetahs. They're such gorgeous cats, right? No, it's not. There they are. Not a very good picture, but a cute little guy. They have these huge antlers that are, they were really prized by like hunters back in the day, which is why they were hunted to extinction. Also interesting on this island was they uncovered a very, very old church on this island. It's believed to have been some kind of monastery of some sort. There's not a lot of information on it. That's all that's been uncovered so far. But in the center of it, they found some human bones. So clearly it was meant to maybe venerate someone or honor someone, and then they built a little monastery around it. But explorations are still underway on this mystery church. Maybe it was Coptic. We don't really know a lot about it. But isn't that cool? Lots of archaeological evidence being uncovered on this little island. Some monks lived back here way, way, way long ago, before Islam was introduced, or before Islam even existed, I should say. Not much introduced before Islam was even a thing. Very cool. So now I'm going to leave it there for the night. Thank you so much for watching. I do hope you found this video relaxing and educational. Next, we're going to be heading to the other end of the peninsula, to Yemen. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Have a very good night.